Stop buying bad PC cases. Let's get you the best PC case 2024 for your budget. Welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. It's time for our best PC case 2024 buying guide. Now there's been tons of new entries into the market and some huge deletions. Rip Deep Cool. We'll cover the critical PC case features that you need, and we'll make specific product recommendations for best budget PC case in 2024, best mid-range PC case in 2024, and best premium PC case in 2024. If you get value out of this video, please give it a like so it really helps out the channel, and subscribe for more cool PC content. With that, let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by VIP SCD Key. Say goodbye to crazy expensive Windows licenses and that terrible Activate Windows watermark. Right now, use the links in the video description, head over to VIP SCD Key and get a Windows 10 or 11 OEM license for a great price. Pick your product license, then use the PC Builder discount code PC25 for an additional 25% off. Go to the activation settings on your PC, put in the code, and boom! Windows is fully licensed for a crazy low price. And Windows 10 can be upgraded for free to Windows 11. And they have Microsoft Office licenses too. Use the links in the video description. So how much should you spend on your PC case in 2024? The good news? Prices continue to fall, and we've got a lot of new cases on the market. Now, the cheapest PC cases, they start around $45. Some of the best budget PC cases start around $50 to $60. Mid-range PC cases start around $80 US. And I'd consider anything over $110 a premium PC case, and those go up into the hundreds of dollars depending on what you're looking for. Now, it's important to align your case choice with your overall budget. I recommend spending 5 to 10% of your overall PC budget on the case itself, including any extra fans. So for a $1,000 PC build, I'd look to spend anywhere from $50 to $100 on the case. And this ensures that you have more to invest in critical components like the graphics card and the CPU. PC case sizes can be really confusing. My advice, just ignore those outdated terms like full tower or mid tower. Instead, you want to focus on the motherboard size compatibility. So ATX cases fit full-size ATX and smaller motherboards. Micro ATX cases only fit up to a micro ATX size motherboard. Mini ITX cases are designed only for mini ITX motherboards. For those using extended ATX or eATX motherboards, many ATX cases work, but check the case specs to ensure they support the slightly longer motherboard width. For case style, there's a lot of options. Now, traditional front intake PC cases like the Corsair 4000D and Bitphoenix Nova Mesh remain popular. Atrium or fish tank style cases like the new Montec XR and the NZXT H6 Flow are now everywhere. Cases like the Fractal Design North and Magnum Gear Neo Air 2 offer wood theme looks, and there are infinite variations of mini ITX cases like the super compact Fractal Design Terra. Now, for those looking to do a no cable PC build, make sure to get a case compatible with rear side connection motherboards like MSI Project Zero, ASUS BTF, and Gigabyte Stealth. We cover these in more detail in our MSI Project Zero build guide, linked down in the video description. Proper airflow is critical to maintain optimal performance and avoid thermal throttling. I recommend at least 2 intake fans and 1 exhaust fan. For higher end builds with higher wattage components, you'll want to increase the number of fans. Positive pressure, that's where more air is pushed in than exhausted out. That's preferred because it helps us control dust at the entry points with the built-in metal mesh or dust filters on the case. Now, these should be wiped clean regularly, and you can remove dust filters at the exhaust ports because they limit airflow, and we only want to filter dust getting into the case, not being blown out. Speaking of fans, many cases come with included fans, and their quality varies widely. Some budget PC cases still use uncontrollable Molex connector fans, which just run at full speed. Many cases will come with fans which you can directly connect to the motherboard. But the current trend is cases coming with fans connected to an included fan and ARGB hub. These controller hubs usually have cables to plug into the motherboard fan header to control fan speed, and an ARGB header for the RGB lighting. You might have to swap cables to do this, so check the case manual. You can also buy your own PWM and ARGB fan controller and your own fans. So I'll leave some link down in the video description, including a cheap 3-pack of Thermalright's PWM ARGB fans that I really love, and they come in black or white. For all-in-one liquid CPU coolers, also called AIOs, check your cooler size against the case specs to make sure it fits where you want it to. Radiators are typically mounted either at the top in the exhaust position, or if the case supports it, on the side as either intake or exhaust. Front mounting an AIO in a traditional case is usually done in the intake setup, but it will reduce the maximum length of your GPU, so keep that in mind. Check out our PC water cooling guide for more information, such as optimal radiator placement, linked in our How to Build a PC playlist in the video description. For GPU mounting, with graphics cards getting larger, ensure your case can accommodate the length and width of your GPU. For a traditional horizontal GPU mount, consider a GPU anti-sag bracket that bolts onto the case PCIe slots or motherboard, or a GPU stand that supports the end of the GPU. Just make sure to install it so it doesn't interfere with the GPU fan spinning. For vertically mounting the GPU, that's where the GPU is positioned with the fans toward the glass. Make sure your case will support this orientation and that there will be at least 1 inch of clearance between the glass and the GPU fans for proper airflow. You'll also need a PCIe riser cable to connect your GPU to the motherboard, and they come in different lengths and speeds. Pro tip, if you're having issues with a vertically mounted GPU using a PCIe riser cable, jump into the BIOS and manually set the motherboard GPU slot PCIe speed to match the riser cable's rated speed, rather than using the auto setting. In terms of other features, modern cases generally offer front panel I/O with at least 2 USB 3.0 Type A ports and audio jacks, with some providing USB Type-C connectivity. Internal DVD drives, they're just not a thing anymore, so I'll link an external cheap USB connection DVD drive in the video description. Quality cases feature good cable management solutions, including rubber grommets and PSU shrouds for a clean build. Removable 3.5-inch hard drive bays are a plus, allowing for better cable management and sometimes airflow after you remove them. Let's jump into our best PC Case 2024 recommendations. Remember, everything is linked down in the video description, and we're going to keep those links updated as new cases pop up or if they go out of stock. So check out the links in the video description for current pricing and availability in your region. Let's start off with the best cheap PC Case 2024. So this is, you just need something to have your components in it. You don't want it to look totally terrible. Here's a case that I've often recommended for you. It's got a little bit of a retro look. $40. Now you might say, Jason, the purple and the orange one's cheaper. No, they just don't include the shipping for some reason. The white one ships free. These add another $9 or $10 for shipping. So they're all roughly the same price at about $40. Now this case, it's got Molex fans. It does come with 2 included fans, one here in the front, one in the rear, and the airflow is actually pretty good in this case. It does have kind of a cool retro look to it. The side panel here is not glass, this is actually acrylic. You can scratch it, and it doesn't come with any kind of nice to have features. It's a basic budget case, including that it doesn't have a cable pass-through at the top left, for this is like your motherboard EPS power cable, so you actually have to slip it in under the motherboard. Kind of a pain in the rear in order to build this thing, which I have. That being said, if you need something super cheap, this is the one to get. Let's jump into the best budget PC Case 2024, and we're gonna look at some really good cases here, micro ATX, then we'll jump over to the ATX side of things. So these are gonna fit micro ATX and smaller motherboards like mini ITX. Let's start off with 2 that I absolutely love, the SAMA ARGB Q5, and it either comes in white or it comes in black. 3 included ARGB fans, got good airflow to it, nice mesh panel in the front here. You can control both the fan speed and you can control the ARGB with your motherboard here. That's 2 thumbs up there. I'm not gonna say the fans are absolutely the best thing I've ever seen, but they're perfectly passable for a budget gaming PC build. It's got a nice side glass panel. It has a PSU shroud for your PSU. Now note, this one does not have a cutout. You can't actually see the PSU. Maybe you don't want to see the PSU. That's absolutely fine. Overall, I really like this case. Right now, this one is $55 for the white one, $59 for the black one over at Newegg. Of course, we also have the case I have just continuously recommended forever, and I've done a number of builds in. That is the BitPhoenix Nova Mesh SE. Now this is the micro ATX version. There's also an ATX version for essentially the same price. Typically sells for $55 over at Newegg. However, I'm filming this right after Prime Day and a lot of stuff sold out. So it's sold out over at Newegg right now. At Amazon, you'll pay about $5 more. Not a big deal for it. $59. This is a great micro ATX case, very similar to the SAMA one. I think the construction's slightly more sturdy on this case, and it does have a PSU cutout shroud on the side, of course, as well, if you want to see your PSU. Great case, has good clearance in the rear. Honestly, either one of these cases is phenomenal. $59. Let's jump over to a brand new case in 2024 that I absolutely love. This is by Okanos. You probably haven't heard them in terms of PC cases, but they make things like PSU extensions, other kinds of PC accessories, and it looks like they're getting into PC cases now. I have not personally used this case. I've seen a number of creators use it, absolutely had a great time with it, and I'm excited to do my next build in it as well. $59 if you apply the 5% coupon. It's only $55 and you're getting that kind of atrium or fish tank style case. Now there is one thing to note here. This is a negative pressure case. I know earlier in the education section I said you want positive pressure. That's typically to control where the dust is getting in, but they've kind of gone with a unique thing, which is they're going top to bottom flow. So they're pushing air out of the top and out of the rear here with these 3 fans that are turned into the exhaust. And the entire bottom is this metal mesh. So that's actually a great thing. It's gonna collect that dust there. You'll just clean that off. I absolutely love this case for budget builds. I think it looks phenomenal. I like the IO panel right on the front here too. It's highly rated case. And again, a lot of people have had a great experience with this and it's only $55. All right, let's jump into the best budget PC case 2024 for the ATX size motherboards out there. And honestly, Mounting is killing it with its XR case. Look at this thing, $64. In fact, we have one here. We've already played around with it a little bit. We are gonna do our next build in it. It's a phenomenal case. It's got 3 included ARGB fans, and those are PWM fans. Now, the difference between 3-pin and 4-pin fan control, not a huge difference. It just does allow for a little bit better control. Some people think that those fans also run a little bit quieter. Of course, there's other things involved as well. But this is a great case. It's got that atrium fish tank style look. I honestly don't know how Mounting is making this for $64. Now, it could be, and this happens often, sometimes cases get introduced and they kind of get introduced at an introductory price, and then a couple months later, the price floats back up. But $64, I would snag this. It's got a ton of I/O on the front panel, including a Type-C on it. And I absolutely love kind of the black finish to it. And if you want to add some additional fans, even on the bottom here to blow into the GPU, it's got that metal mesh on the bottom so you can kind of suck in air there. And you can also clean that off and use that to control your dust. And this case also comes in all white as well. And it looks absolutely phenomenal also for $64. Overall, if you want this atrium style case and you want to spend as little as possible, this is the one I would get. All right, some other good ATX size options in the budget category. The Mounting Air 903 Max, you can actually get this for $10 cheaper if you don't want ARGB with it. It just comes with 4 included black 140 millimeter fans. And again, these are PWM fans. That's phenomenal. It's a great value. It's got a PSU shroud to it, very traditional intake to it, but tons of airflow with those 140 millimeter fans. Right now, this one's $69. One other great alternative, especially if you're looking for like that wood panel look, but you don't have the $150 or so for the Fractal North, check out the Magnum Gear Neo Air 2. Now, this is a brand that Fantex owns, and they kind of use it to copycat a lot of other brands. If you'll notice, it looks a lot like the Fractal Torrent, but also has the kind of wood feature. Now, it's not an exact copy of either one. It's kind of a hybrid mishmash. It's a great looking case. Comes with 4 included fans to it. It's got it is plastic, but it is that wood panel look to it if that's what you're looking for. It's got a lot of really great reviews. Right now, $70 over at Newegg. The black one, as I'm doing this, completely sold out over Prime Day, but they have a rebate on it for just $59 and you can back order it. If you're looking for this look and style, this is a great one to pick up. Let's jump into the best PC case 2024. Now we are solidly in the mid-range. We're looking to spend somewhere between $70 up to maybe $100, $110, depending on what features you're looking for. I'm going to show you a couple of cases that I like, and these ones support either traditional motherboards or they will support the behind the motherboard connections on cableless builds if you're using like an MSI Project Zero or ASUS BTF or Gigabyte Stealth motherboard on them. And they're relatively cheap for that. The Fantex XT View, this is another atrium style case. Honestly, not that different from the Mounting XR. Maybe slightly better build quality to it, although it has less I/O on the case itself. But it does support those rear panel connections, and I'm showing you the white one. It also comes in black, just because it's easier to see the cable cutouts there, both on the side and on the bottom. $79 right now with the rebate is pretty insane value. If you're looking for a more traditional front intake PC case, either to support those rear connection motherboards, or if you just want a great case for $70, check out the Fantex XT Pro Ultra. I don't know why we need XT Pro Ultra in there, Fantex. Can we just pick one of those? This is a great one. It comes with 4 included ARGB fans to it. And as you can see, it's got the cable cutouts at the bottom. It's got a nice PSU shroud to it. Overall, fantastic case for just $70. For those of you looking to either add a little bit of color to your gaming PC build, or if you're looking for like no RGB, totally black, The fractal design pop air really has you covered. It's a great kind of traditional front intake case. It comes with 3 included fans on the RGB versions. They're RGB. Comes in white, comes in black, and then it comes in some cool color combinations. But for those of you, and I know there's some of you out there, you RGB haters who just want solid black everything, you can either just get it without RGB. Now remember, you can always turn RGB off on any of the fans. You don't even have to connect the RGB if you don't want to on these as well. But this will come with just black fans for $80. You can even get it with a metal solid side panel for $80. Kind of old school there for those of you looking for that look. Obviously it comes in white, comes in black, but it also comes in some cool colors like it comes in a blue, it comes in a magenta, it comes in an orange like that. If you're just looking to add some color variation and personalize your build. Of course, I know some of you out there will absolutely scream if I don't include at least one NZXT. There's actually 2 cases on this list. I like the H5 Elite. Now, right now, the price has dropped to $80. At $140, I would have said absolutely avoid this case. NZXT, Corsair, some of those kind of bigger name brands are just being absolutely outcompeted right now. It does look like some of them are responding, like NZXT dropping the price of the NZXT H5 Elite. 2 thumbs up there. This is an ATX case. Comes with 2 140mm included ARGB ring fans. Love that. And it comes with this little bucket fan in the bottom for your GPU. Now, that's not an RGB fan, but I believe they also just changed the design on this. That's now a replaceable fan. It's not something that's just built in and you can't replace it if it were ever damaged or stopped working for some reason. I will say for $79, you'll still need at least probably 1 fan for the exhaust there, but it's a great value for $80. Probably my absolute favorite case that I've ever built in is the Lee & Lee Landcool 216. Now it comes in white, it comes in black, and there's RGB versions, and then there's a black non-RGB version for a couple bucks less. This is a phenomenal case. I originally built in the 215. That was a terrible PC case, but Lee & Lee learned a lot of lessons from that, and they came back with a banger of a case. We used this in our 7800X3D build when the 7800X3D first launched. This case, the top actually comes off of this case. Makes installing AIOs an absolute breeze on it. I absolutely love it. Those 2 fans in the front, by the way, those are 160mm fans. So you can actually spin those fans much slower, but you're still getting a lot of airflow because they're much larger diameter fans on them. Overall, again, $99. This is probably the best price to performance, more premium case out there. Let's jump into the best PC cases in the premium category. The premium category. Now, honestly, to me, if you're spending this much, you either need to do it for aesthetic reasons because you want it to look a particular way, or you have a particular need for it. So let's start off with a great case that I absolutely loved. We used in our MSI Project Zero build. That is the MSI Pano M100R. Now this supports those back connection motherboards like MSI Project Zero, ASUS BTF, and others, but it's a micro ATX size PC case, even though it looks a little bit bigger than that. I think it's a phenomenal case if you're looking to do kind of a showcase build. Comes with these fans on the side, comes with this. We used a 360mm all-in-one liquid cooler. $109 is pretty affordable too for this case. If you're looking for an affordable, what we call full tower case, most of the cases we looked at are mid tower using that old terminology. I like the Fractal Design Pop XL Air. Basically, you can see it's just taller, right? It's a bigger case. So this is if you want to especially if you want to do a lot of custom liquid cooling or things like that, this is one of the cases that I would take a look at. This definitely will take those eATX motherboards out there. Comes with those 4 included ARGB fans. $109, again, very affordable for a full tower case. If you're looking for a case that comes with a lot of stuff already kind of bundled in order to vertically mount your GPU, that's mount it towards the glass with the fans towards the glass, I do like the Height Y40. I feel like Height needs to come down a little bit on its pricing for like the Y60 and the Y70, especially given that they only come with 1 included rear exhaust fan. It's not RGB. You're still gonna have to buy some fans, but it does come with the PCIe riser cable. It's PCIe 4.0, and it's perfectly sized to fit this. It's also got a lot of room to install that GPU and still have clearance for the front glass. These cases look phenomenal, by the way. They absolutely look phenomenal. And it comes in white, comes in, I wouldn't just say white, it comes in like a snow right here. Don't worry about the PCIe riser cable. You'll never see that when your GPU is vertically mounted there. It'll be in front of it. They look phenomenal. You will have to buy a couple of additional fans, but $120 is pretty reasonable. For those NZXT fans out there and you're looking for a more unique atrium style case, I do like the H6 Flow RGB. I recommended this last year. Now I will say it's got a lot more competition because there's tons of these atrium style cases that have come on the market for quite a bit cheaper, and they all have RGB. And this one does not have a rear fan. In fact, it has placement in there for up to 2 rear fans. So you can add some additional fans in there. Maybe you're looking for kind of the ultimate build. This is a really nice case, $134. I'd love to see this get a little cheaper, but if you're an NZXT fan and you like the styling of this, go for it. And then of course we have what is probably the king of PC cases right now. I know a lot of you like the old Lee & Lee 011 dynamic look. I used to call that case an absolute money pit because not only did you have to buy it for $150, it didn't come with any fans. People were spending $300 and $400 on case fans and the cost of the case. Totally insane, just destroying their PC budget. That's why I love Mounting King 95. Look at this, comes with 6 included ARGB fans. They're all pre-mounted in there. You're gonna put your AIO probably you're gonna top mount it up there if you're gonna go with AIO, which I suspect you would if you're going with a case that costs this much, and obviously it's designed kind of for maximum viewing angles. It's got the curved glass on it, looks great. $148, not bad when you think about everything that this case comes with. Let's jump into the best mini ITX PC case 2024. We're gonna start from the top and work our way down. $180. Yes, expensive, but it's the Fractal Design Terra. It's the case that everybody went gaga for last year and is still going gaga for, frankly, in 2024. I will say this is the smallest mini ITX PC case out there that's designed for a GPU. So keep that in mind. For those of you who are a first-time builder, or if you haven't built a PC in a while, you got to bring some really high-end cable management skills to a build like this. Now, it also won't come with any fans. You got to add those in. But if you're an accomplished builder, if you're somebody who feels confident in those skills, this is a phenomenal PC case. And like I said, because it's the smallest one, it's kind of the coolest. A case I would feel much more comfortable recommending most PC builders to if you want to do mini ITX is the Johnsboro Johns Plus Z20. Now, this comes with a side glass panel, comes in white, comes in black. It will support a 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler to it. It's got metal mesh pretty much on all the other sides. It's an absolutely great addition. I love the lunchbox handle on the top. Relatively new to the market. $99, tough to beat. If you're looking for all mesh and you just don't want the glass panel, I like the Meshroom D out there as well. $99. Now, there's also a vertical version of this for like $150. I don't really think it's worth it. I'd go with this instead. Very similar to the last case we looked at, except it's just all mesh. There's no glass on it. $99, pretty good value. For those of you looking for a console-like PC case, look no further than the Fractal Design Ridge. It comes in black, it comes in white. Both of them come with PCIe 4.0 riser cables because this is what's called a dual chamber case. It's got one chamber on top of the other. The GPU will go on the top here, and then the rest of the PC will go on the bottom. You use the riser cable to connect the two. I would only really recommend this case if you built PCs in the past and you feel pretty good about your cable management skills and your ability to complete a build as tight as this thing. But it looks super phenomenal if you're looking for that kind of PC as a console. Remember, everything is linked down in the video description, so check out those links for current pricing and availability in your region. And if you got value in the video, give it a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel, especially that guy right there. And of course, subscribe and click that bell icon. That way you get notified when we release cool PC content. And we'll catch you on the next one.